be over there. Okay, like me, I'm just like help, pulling over to the side of the road, asking strangers. It's not great.
Oh, mate, you just need a relative point of reference. So,
Yeah,
like for me, it's Club Exotica.
I
So
bet.
everything is either north or south or east or west of there. And
Fuck. Well, I've
uh,
missed that.
G'day. This is the Two Beards Wrexham podcast, your go-to for all things Wrexham AFC. Join us as we chat about the highs and lows of our favourite footy club. She'll be right, mate. G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. We are back, baby. Rousey and Adrian, the two pros, now bald-headed brothers.
Yeah,
Adrian, mate,
fuck.
welcome back.
Mate, last time I saw you, you had hair. So I've come back. I got internet after 3 weeks. And now I see your face, and you've got a better looking head than me, mate. I'm pissed off now because I wanted to be the good, like the bald person who like tries to make it look good, but yours looks good, mate. Mine just looks like a fucking bowling ball compared to you.
The barber did say I had the right shaped head for it.
You do, mate.
So
You do. Have you seen the show The Coneheads?
yes,
Yeah, that's me. So in comparison, so you look very good, mate. So well done. And
my idea of a cone head is very different, though.
I
But
would,
hey,
we'll talk about that in the shit talk. I want to know a bit more about that.
we're back, baby. We are back. Two Beards Wrexham podcast, the Aussie Wrexham podcast, from down under. Love and life, and we're getting right into it because boy, have we got a lot this week. I mean, it's like we got to catch up on everything, but I know we did an episode last week with Ryan. But the new cop designs have been released, mate. The new cop designs. What do
Yeah,
you think?
hot shit. I love it.
You love it? I'm
Love.
kind of like, I don't know. It's growing on me though.
I
It's
think
growing
I
on
think
me.
there was a lot of discourse around it, and people are like, what was it the original design that looked a lot like MK's stadium, which was that black, all black. I want to say a lot of the American contingent loved it because it did look very like NFL stadium like, and
Mm.
then. And it was modern, but there's something special about the wonky W in the in the way that it kind of arches, and just having the like part of the crest there is really cool too. So I don't
Well,
know,
you
mate.
know,
I'm
I got a
I'm kind of in
theory on
love.
that. The wonky W, like if you go to the turf or go to the my screen or something, get absolutely shit faced, that wonky W won't be wonky anymore.
That That's the best. That's the best reasoning I've heard. I think Fearless in Devotion put up that it's to do with the highs and lows of the club. It's ups and downs, and I thought that's pretty cool. But I actually quite like the terracotta color. Like I don't know, just it kind of looks historic without being old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, there's a few people that it's divided opinion a little
Very
bit,
much divided. Yeah.
and some people are for it, some people are against it. I don't know if the people that are against it are from Wrexham. If you are, we love you. You're entitled to your own opinion. Just take
But if
some
you're from
Rousey
Australia and
advice and just get shit faced because everything looks good when you're shit faced. All right, just that's all you got to do. If you wake up in the morning and open your curtains and you see this big wonky bloody building everywhere, just start knocking them back and you'll be right.
Nah, mate, I'm keen. I like it. I love it. I think it's a really cool, and it's unique too. I think the biggest thing is you don't want to start being like every fucking other club that's rebranding themselves and they just turn into another soulless, lifeless stadium. You want character, and
Mm.
that's character, mate. So I'm pretty excited because, you
And
know,
they've got an option there to put another stand above it to make it 7,000. So they can expand as we grow up the leagues, which is, well, is it happening? Is it not? Do we know? Do we not? I mean, there's so much stuff going on. I mean, Adrian, ever since you've been away, I mean, I've been concerned because you haven't had internet access. So I'm like, how are you getting your Wrexham news?
oh mate,
Like,
I literally and I used up my entire mobile data. I get like 50 gig, like nothing, like I get a pretty good amount, and I used it up. Mainly on porn, but but the Wrexham games definitely took up a lot of it. But that's what I would do. I would go to work and I would use the Wi-Fi there, watch like 60 minutes on my lunch break, and then I'd watch the last half an hour either sitting in the car park or driven home because, fun fact, my mobile data wasn't working inside the house because I'm in a pretty old house. So that was fun. And then obviously no internet. They kept delaying it. And then it finally arrived Monday and then went to the post office and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So it's all gone wrong for me, but I've been able to keep up and watch the full replays, which has been super handy because, yes, I wasn't being able to watch them live like we normally do, but at least I wasn't missing out on the content. And to be honest, there was no spoilers because I couldn't get onto fucking Twitter anyways. It's not like I was like, oh, the scores, like, oh shit, it wasn't so bad.
Well, hey, we're glad to have you back at least. I'm glad to have you back because, the trade window was it went like
Bonkers.
Bonkers. So
but we always do this, don't we? We always leave it at the end. Sorry. We always leave it at the end.
I know. It's a Parky thing. I don't know what it is. I guess, and now we got more people lumping on us that hate us because we've got all these. We got a Premier League player who played over 250 games for Burnley in the Premier League and was England capped as well. Used to play with James McLean, none other than J Rodriguez. Yes,
J-Rod.
Trying to coin that term, J-Rod, just like we managed to get Scottish Viking Jesus.
I feel like Scottish Viking Jesus is definitely more unique than J-Rod. I feel like that's been used in baseball of some sort. So.
Yeah, maybe. But I like the name J-Rod.
Yeah, me too. It's cool
with the kids.
Yeah, I mean, now that we don't have Daddy anymore,
Oh, Daddy's scoring goals for fun at the moment.
Yeah, he's having fun. It's like, where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you the entire time you were at Rex?
Yeah, I know. So we got obviously J-Rod. We got Sam Smith as well, joined us from Reading.
Yes.
Which is an interesting one. Because did you know they're under a transfer embargo?
No, I didn't know that. I mean, I've been reading. I feel like I'm like a fucking snail mail at the moment, but I'm slowly getting dribs and drabs about how the transfer went through. I didn't know much about that.
What they did, or what they're alleged to do, and why they were placed under transfer embargo, is because in their transfers I think it was in the summer window or previous window, it was fairly recent, they didn't disclose to the EFL what they were paying for players.
Oh.
And that's a big no-no. So, because that's obviously financial fair play, all that sort of stuff that goes on. They didn't disclose that information, or they got caught manipulating that information or something, and they were placed under transfer embargo, which means we can take their player. Any team can take their players, but they can't replace them. The only way they can replace them is on loans. So, yeah. So we go and just pilfer their top player, their leading goal scorer. Somewhere in the vicinity, I'd like to say maybe it's 1.5 with add-ons. It equals to roughly 2 million. But we got him from Reading. And then we also got Ryan Longman as well from Hull City. So that's a pretty fucking successful transfer window, dude.
But I'm having absolute deja vu from even like preseason or even last January transfer window, which was, I remember us going, do something, fucking do something. We need something. And everyone's like poke the bear, like, come on. And then we went out and fucking made a haul of it. And we've done it again. But like, this is, I love the jokes that, Wrexham in danger of signing anyone under 30. But it's like, but when did someone who's 30, by the way, become too old? Because too many people have played Football Manager and have sat there because they have their fucking 22-year-old wonder kid from Colombia, and they're just like, oh yeah, that's what you need every time. It's like, well, no, that's not how the fucking game works, mate. Like, you look, you find, and you get people with pedigree. We have history with getting people in with pedigree and it being successful. James McLean, Scottish Viking Jesus, these are people who are considered older. Shit, even like the likes of Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullen were on the latter ends of 20s, those 30 marks. That's going to be that's proven tested. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you go out and risk it? We try it with other people. We tried it with people like Mo Fall is a great example. And that hasn't, obviously, he's a project player. We've talked about this many times, but it hasn't panned out yet to the full extent of what it probably could be. But that's because he wasn't tried and tested. Do you know what I mean? You've got people who, come in and do stuff, and other times it doesn't work, like Daddy, like that didn't work. So,
yeah, I know, but I also say as well, he's 34, turning 35.
Yeah.
He's played 250 games in the Premier League, not more than one season ago. Like, whoa. I've seen some of his goals and his goals against, like, when he was playing against Manchester United. Like, who gives a fuck if you're 34, 35? I mean, you got skills.
Yep.
So, and which we will talk about soon, because we actually saw some of those skills from Sam Smith and J-Rod in the previous game against Crawley, which was interesting, which we'll talk about. But happy with the signings?
Pretty happy, mate. With what we have already, yes, injuries and out of form and all that shit, to bring in that is still pretty good, man. It's what we need. Someone said it perfectly. It's the top up you need to finish this season in the way that we want to, regardless if we get promoted or not. It's going to put us in the right stead because you're getting people, again, with experience to show the youth what it's capable of. What this team is capable of. And then you've also got the players who are probably going to be here for a couple of years. You know what I mean? So that you're going to have your wins out of this, and you're going to have your shit ones. You're going to have your Billy Waters. You're going to have those.
We don't need to spend $20 million on it either.
Exactly. That's the way it's got to be, little darling.
Well, I mean, to me, that was a sign that we're going for it. We balls to the wall, just going for it.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think it was a show of what, we can do this. Because another thing is, your likes of Birmingham, for example, they've got the league in the bag, right? They literally, unless they absolutely shat the bed. I mean, it would have to have some fucking, I don't know, Arsenal-like collapse to lose these. These players, that's an interesting place to go. Okay, I'm going to go to Birmingham here. I might be able to, get into the championship, pretty much guaranteed signing with this mob. But for them to come to Wrexham, which is not a guaranteed promotion as much as we'd like to think so, it's not. And they know that. So I think they're hoping they can prove themselves and get us over the line so that they can secure themselves in that starting lineup next year in the championship if we can get there. So yeah, it's a really cool, I think it's a cool, exciting adventure for any young or old footballer to be at Wrexham right now. And I think dependent obviously where we go at the end of this season, if we stay or we go up, it's going to be real interesting if we were to go up, what new talents are going to want to try and come across now.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Because, I mean, one of our signings, Sam Smith, hasn't really played in the championship. He's always been League One, but he's scored bag loads of goals in League One. But looking at him, I think he's probably got enough talent there to survive in the championship. I got that feeling, man. Just got that feeling.
That's good. It's a good feeling to have, mate. I think it's hard because when I mean, I know you addressed it, I'm sure, in last week's episode, but, to lose a game, you should be winning. It then just deflates you. You go, holy shit, these are the ones these are our bread and butter games. Why are we not pulling all 3 points? And then, losing at home and things like that. So that's when it gets a bit shaky, but to bring these people in to steady the ship is a really good idea. So yeah, I'm really excited for it, mate.
Yeah. And no more Elliot Lee up front. I love the bloke. I fucking love the bloke, right? But he does not suit that position. You can clearly see he was a duck out of water. Put him back in And what happens? Hey, look what happened this morning against Port Vale. He was on fire. I
What
fucking
about what about the winner, mate? I literally when because I couldn't watch it live unfortunately due to the bullshit internet issues I'm having. But I watched the replay and seeing him thunder cunt the bastard into the back.
it's so good.
And I just went, and I'm like, Rousey is rock hard right now. Like, well, like he is.
Oh, I had to put the phone down for a minute.
Yeah, I bet. I fucking bet. But nah, mate, you're right. It'll hopefully bring people to their traditional positions. We'll stop messing around and changing the formation from week to week and probably stick to a formula, which, still could be the same formation, but it's like you said, putting
3-5-2. Bring
Yeah.
3-5-2 back.
Yeah.
It works. We got the two key strikers there. But hey, you know what? I think this is calling for us to get into the game breakdown.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Been a while.
Great
Let's
segue.
do it. Let's do it. Let's get into the game breakdown so we can actually talk about this shit. Because we got some good signings. We got a cop on the way, provided it gets planning approval, but I believe it will. The council would be stupid not to.
Shit, how unlucky could you have 2 rejections? Like, fuck. You know what? Screw it. Just put a tent up there at this point. Nah.
All right. Well, let's go to a break. After this, we're going to review Port Vale and we'll also review Crawley and discuss what is to come, which this weekend there's no game. So, yay, not a lot of talking.
What a great week for me to come back.
All right. Let's go an ad break. Woo-hoo-hoo. So we're thinking about how we're going to start this segment. We're going to start this segment with Crawley because in that game we got to see Parky actually take a risk for once, which interesting. We got to start our 2 new signings. Now these 2 blokes, I mean, there's some people that are like, oh, J-Rod really didn't show too much. Well, he wouldn't have been able to show much anyway because he'd only been in the team a day and had maybe a couple of hours to work on tactics and formation. But given what we saw, our attack in that game was blisteringly quick when we decided to attack.
Yeah, when we wanted to. It's the fair call. Yeah, there was a lot of chatter about the new signings, and I'm just like, fuck me, give them a week, mate. Like, just give them some time to like properly work with the players, the coaching staff. You talk about it every week, and it's about the synergy of our team. And when we're on, it's because we have the synergy of the players who, care fucking, they play for one another. Do you know what I mean? So when you got someone coming in off the street, however good they are, it doesn't matter. That player's got to learn how to make his name known in the team, but also build those friendships, build the relationships with the coaching staff. So yeah, what we saw, mate, I was pretty damn happy to be real because we weren't seeing any better from our stalwarts. We weren't seeing better from Mullen or Palmer. So
Palmer and Lee.
Oh, Palmer and Lee, yeah.
Mullen couldn't buy a start, so he was apparently left out of the squad due to a shin incident, and he actually posted a Instagram post saying that he's glad to sign with the couch. So I assume he's probably got a couple of weeks rest.
Yeah, and I mean, especially because the only game really we got coming up is that quarterfinal.
Which is bullshit, really, because James McLean can basically crash his car and play the next day.
You're basically saying if you get an injury, you're a soft cock if you don't play tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I figured you were saying that.
Just dust yourself off, rub one out, and get on it.
Cup of cement and harden the fuck up.
Cup of cement and harden the fuck up. Just get a tinny into you.
Get a tinny into you. No, look, mate,
honestly, I thought taking the risk was what we needed to do. And going back to that sort of formation and having those 2 attackers made our attack so lightning quick when we decided to go forward. Obviously, there were periods of the game where we sat back and invited the pressure.
Yeah.
But boy, when we decided to move, did we move? And it was all created through Sam Smith and J Rod, and Barney on the right hand side, and then obviously Longman when he came on, which we'll talk about as well. But it was all created through that dynamic little attack, and
Yeah.
fuck me, that was quick.
Well,
I even said in the Discord chat, I'm like, wow, this is quick.
yeah.
Like,
But you
yeah,
made a very good point before, which is it was quick when they wanted to. Hey, like it was quick when they were like, "All right, we'll do it." Like, yeah, right, let's do it. Like, yeah, there were bits and pieces. And look, I'm going to get into some stats now, but I just wanted to make a shout out. Man of the match was actually good old O'Connell. Who's been patchy at best. He's one of our best players, I still think, and I definitely think when he's on, he's on. But unfortunately, when he's off, he's off. And I feel like that can sometimes reflect in that back half and sometimes be the difference between a win and a loss. But showing his class again, man of the match, got an 8.0 on FOTMob. But I'm looking at the stats here, and I just want to go through my favorite non-stat ever, which is possession. 65% possession to Crawley. We only had 35% possession and stole the win at the end. And I know we'll go through those goals with your descriptions, my friend. But weirdly, we actually, even though they had more shots on goal, we were expected to score more with a 1.2 and they had a 0.9. I hate that stat. Expected goals are such ass because they had 16 shots on goal, but only one on target. And that was the goal. We had 8 shots, which is half the amount, if you can do quick maths. Four of them are on target. And
speaking of which, that brings me into a good train of thought here.
Yeah, do it.
Okonkwo got lost his spot to Chomp. Harsh or to be expected?
Probably to be expected. He's still, I'm sure it's to not risk him. Like, you don't want to re-injure because there's some stat. We looked at that stat. Remember when Paul Mullen did his lung like ages ago, we talked about like re-injuring, and there's a percentage that likelihood of re-injuring after playing a couple of matches or whatever. Anyways, I don't remember the stat itself, but I would imagine it's something along the lines of, hey, this isn't the most important game. We have faith in Chomp. He's been here while you've been gone. He's been, doing his best. Fuck it, just keep him in. And I think that's what's happened. Is that what you got from it, or did you think it was hey, you need to get better skill wise rather than health wise?
I think it was probably more. I think it's got a little bit to do with confidence as well. Because he really did. He really did obviously put in a good shift previous and had plenty of clean sheets against his name, and then he goes and breaks his hand, comes back, and all of a sudden he's letting in goals. So it's kind of, it's like, is it a confidence thing there? Like, is there something going on?
It could just be what happens, Well, I remember when and I know this is now talking seasons ago, but even when we brought Foster in to replace Chom, remember when we got fucked over by Stockport 5-0, right?
I mean, look, Rob Layton broke his hand in the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was out.
Was shaky as well.
He could never come back after it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that game itself, we then went, fuck it, we need to bring someone else in. And we brought in someone, and then Chomp never saw the light of day again until now, really. So it could be that similar, I think, mindset from Parky, which is, right, you're out of form. It was a poor display. I think he got, out of all of the players, he had the worst stats or the worst player rating out of all of the pundits. So, you have a shit one. Yes, it is a confidence thing. I think it's resting him, honestly, to be health-wise. It's probably like, look, just get yourself right, because half of it is mental, isn't it? So it's like, hey, because you've broken a hand or whatever. You might do it and you might be safe, but you still might be a bit more hesitant because you're like, oh, I'm not going to risk it on one that I think might be out of my scope. So you might just let it through when normally you might do a diving save. So it could be all of the above, mate. But at the end of the day, in Parky we trust. There's a lot of vitriol going
A
around
lot of
about
the goals
Parky.
he let in were actually on his broken hand side too. So I had to go back and actually have a look at all the goals we let in to determine that one because there
And
was
that
no stat on the internet. That's my
No, of course
commitment.
not. Of course not. But I think that's the
So,
thing. But no, but that validates the point, which is, yeah, it could be a confidence thing of, I don't want to do that injury again. I don't want to go through that rehab again. So maybe he's just maybe Parky saw that and was like, right, drag you this week, get your mind right, get your head right, and know that, shit happens in football, but you got to put your balls to the wall here. I'm hoping that, it's more of just a resting thing rather than a berating him, because he's still young too, mate. Like, he may be an incredible goalkeeper, but he is still young. So when you have a shit one, the last thing you want to do is get yourself in a 5-game slump. So better to break it straight away by putting you on the bench, resting you, whatever you might do. So good on Chomp for saving the day there. But also, look, before we move on to the next game, I just want to hear your take on that Elliot Lee goal, please. I've talked about what I saw, but can you just
he can
give us the rundown? Because when we
strip my clothes off me any day, mate. That Elliot Lee, he's okay. Look, here's the thing: was it a foul? Was it not a foul?
oh fuck, who cares? We
I've
scored.
seen this happen over and over and over again and not get called.
Yep.
How many times has it happened to one of our strikers where they're being held, arm over the chest, thrown to the ground? Mullen's been thrown to the ground so many times and it
So
never
many.
gets called. Now, if you are getting taken to the ground by someone the size of Elliot Lee,
Then you're a bitch.
then you're a bitch. Like, you, so clearly, I think if the ref did see it, or if a linesman did see it, he probably thought that he was playing for it. He just went down too easily. Now, looking at the replay back, it does definitely look like old Elliot Lee got a handful of shirt, but borderline if you went down easy or not. Hard to say. When you're a borderline, you don't. I'd say it's up to the ref, and the ref didn't give it. Goal stands. Boy, did he go flying for it though! I tell you what. Oh, and just having Elliot Lee back in his natural position, we are actually seeing Elliot Lee enjoying playing again. He's got a smile on his face, and he's putting away goals again. He wasn't putting away goals as a striker. He's putting away goals as an attacking mid, and I
Oh,
am all for it because
dude.
I've got all the time in the world for Elliot Lee. He's pivotal, pivotal to that squad.
And like, okay, and let's not shy away from the fact it was a great escape as well. Like, in that 90th minute when they scored, fucking deflating as shit.
Oh, that was a worldie, wasn't it?
It's just, and you just
Oh,
don't, and you don't want to like it. You really don't.
wow.
You do, and you're like, fuck, that was pretty
When I
good. All
saw
right.
that, I'm just like, fucking hell. Like, wow, I mean, was it 35 yards out? Just screamer top corner. I mean, Chomp had no hope of getting to that.
And then
And yeah,
it just happened, and I was like, fuck, just absolutely takes the wind out of here. So credit to not only Elliot Lee, but also the play leading up to it. I think it's when you watch the AAA video, the Access All Areas video, there's that, or you can see kind of the movement that's happening. And you talk about that pace on the ball around the box. There was a bit more pace around it, and you could feel it. So yeah, that build up was a bit of fun too. So I really enjoyed it. Elliot Lee doing Elliot Lee things, and we got away with the win there, sitting in the league third on the table, which we are 4 points behind Wickham, who are on the same amount of games as us finally. So we're both
not a hard thing to make up. I mean, Wickham, they lost a lot of players. They lost their coach. They're
Yeah,
going to
no,
have
no.
to
Look, I'm
restructure.
not
So
saying that. Just
they
it's
could be in
just
trouble.
you take a win from. Let's say we don't lose against Stevenage. You're only 1 point behind. So
Apparently, they were offered 7 million for Cody, and
from
they turned
who?
it down. They turned it down.
From who?
Um,
The fuck's got
It was a
7 mil in this
championship club.
economy?
It was a championship club.
Yeah, nah, all good.
So I think one of the championship clubs were coming into. I saw it somewhere where they were offered 7 million and they turned it down. So it's like, well, they're trying to keep their players because they lost a couple of good ones,
Uh,
and yeah,
the
shit.
league, bruh. The league. What
It's
a
the
what a
league.
what a weird league we're in, mate. It's
Let's
League
just
One.
get out of this league into the championship, and then
Yeah,
we can
and like
relax.
every other podcast season we've done, which we've only been around 2 years, and we sit back and we go, let's just get out of this league and then move on, and then that's when the shit gets good, and then we go League One's where the shit gets good, and then we get into League One, we're like Championship is where the shit gets good, and then we're in the Championship, EPL's where the shit gets good, but look, at the end of the day, mate, keen. Glad we're sitting. I mean, if you had told me we'd be sitting third this point of the season, I'd shoot your arm off for it. So we all say that. So
Still got a dog in the fight, so
that's it,
don't
mate.
give
That's
up.
all you need. It's never done and dusted, mate. So look, keen to talk about the next one in Port Vale, the league that the cup that you and I said we would not give a fuck about until we got to a quarterfinal. And then we said, yeah, we cared about it the whole time. And we do care about it the whole time. Port Vale away. How about that, Chief?
Wow, they conceded really early to
Yeah,
get
1
another
minute.
easy goal. Um, yeah, 1 minute in, and I remember just being like, "Oh no, here we go again." But
Yep.
sure enough, some Andy Cannon brilliance um, dragged us back into it. And then we just seemed to go on a tear in the second half. Port Vale just had lost it all. They had no answer to us. We had a goal from Harry Ashfield,
How good
debut
was that,
goal.
by the way? That's
That was a
that's the
good
one of
goal.
our own stories that you just fucking love. And
Yeah.
just seeing how happy he was standing in front of that away end, just, oof. I don't know, mate. I got goosebumps with that.
That was I got that. That was a really good feel good moment, and a Mo Foul goal as well,
Well, yeah, that was
which
at
was
the end.
also pretty good.
That was
That was the
after
last one.
your mate.
That was after Elliot Lee. Gotta say,
Elliot Lee. Get his dick out your mouth and continue on.
yeah, I know. So 4-1, a lot of goals away from home. So is this something? Are we onto something here? Are we turning a corner away from home? I mean,
Oh,
I
I
know
don't know,
they're a
mate.
League Two side, but
It's this trophy bullshit, man. I can't deal with it. This trophy bullshit, so for those living under a rock, we've obviously we got Bolton in the quarterfinals. So, and that'll be Tuesday for people in Rex and Wednesday for us in Australia.
you reckon
It's
we
not.
go full strength for that?
I would hope so
I
because
have a feeling Bolton will.
yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, more money, less problems. So you want to be able to get as far deep as you can into this trophy. And I don't know why I giggled at that. I'm a child, but it'd be really good to go as far as we can in this competition. Fuck, could you imagine going to Wembley again?
That would be
Someone
pretty
said
good.
it's like to be the fourth time in 15 years or something. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that would be pretty good. We're into the quarters though, so we got to get past Bolton, then we got to get past one more.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like
Uh,
I don't know. I'm starting to get a bit uppity about it because I'm thinking, like what you said, we don't give a fuck about this. That when they were playing bloody, bullshit under 21 teams and all that crap, with the Newcastle under 21s and Liverpool under whatever it is, right? That shit's gone. Once that's all gone, which it is. It's literally the teams left. You've got obviously Bradford beat Rotherham, so they're actually into the semi-final. You got Birmingham against Stevenage. They beat Stevenage. Birmingham won, so they're into the semi-final. But then you've got the other two quarterfinals, which is Peterborough and Cheltenham, and then Wrexham and Bolton. And I
Calling
don't
it
know, mate.
now, it'll be a bloody Wrexham Birmingham final, I bet you.
And I reckon you might be onto something, mate. And I have a bad feeling if we go to that. So, shit. Hope for something. You know what would be funny though? Come up against because Cheltenham has, I'm pretty sure Luke Young plays for him now.
Yeah,
So I'd love them to get up against Peterborough and then somehow we come up against them. That'd be nice.
that'll be all right.
But anywho, we'll see how we go. But look, mate, I think, look, last thing, like you said, Mo Farah scoring, that's great. But it's what is it? Long time coming. He's got the talent. He is a project.
I think he scored in the cup before.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying it's a long time coming that people are recognizing that he's actually a talent. I think a lot of people just go, he's not getting minutes, therefore he's shit. And that's
Watching
just
him
not
play though. You can tell he's been listening to Stephen Fletcher. You watch him play, he's got Stephen Fletcher in his veins. I tell you, I think Stephen Fletcher's been giving him the old spoon, and giving him a bit of a mentorship because boy, he looks very similar. A lot of the single flicks, a lot of the same style play.
He's just a project player, mate. And I think what I love about it is, we say Dolby's a project player, but shit, we didn't recall him. But I mean, now I know why. But because I reckon they were waiting to see if we could get who we got, and it's like, oh no, we're good. Dolby, stay, mate, stay. So he'll finish his season in the Scottish Premier League.
He's gone. I think he's going to get picked up by a good.
Correct.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Dundee continue on their Dundee United, continue on their trajectory, they're playing, European football, then they've got more money to spend to compete in it. They'll take Dolby. Yeah. So, or they get someone better and they send him back. But look, but that's my point is that these are kinds of the players that are young. They've got the obviously Mo Farah's a lot younger, and I think it's really good to have, because the thing that you get stuck with, let's just say we did get to the championship, the thing you get really stung with is, wow, we have a great team. Fuck, they're all over 35. Oh shit, we're all old. And it's good and well, but it's just longevity purposes. It doesn't work. And then you end up switching a whole side out because you've got to get young and old. You need to wean them in like they're doing.
Which I think we do pretty well. I mean, when you've got the likes of, James McLean, Stephen Fletcher.
Fucking love Fletch.
Oh, fuck, he's brilliant. Matty James.
He's a fucking...
he's pretty good. He's
getting a bit of a man crush on that bloke.
When you got so you got, my point being is you've got all this experience in the squad, right? These people coming in now with obviously Sam Smith and Jay Rodriguez, it's only going to lift the standard of the squad because everyone else has got to compete with them to get positions. So it's only going to lift the standard of the squad. And most of our squad now has a lot of championship experience and some in real high-end championship as well. So it's pretty good position to be in. So... yeah, but we digress. We should probably save that for the shit chat. But five of our players now, five of our strikers have championship experience.
Wow.
So I think it's pretty insane. But we got to give our predictions on Bolton before we move on, because that's the next game. Now I'm questioning: do we go full strength? I hope we do. I think it's time to.
I hope we do.
Especially with no game on the weekend, and we played.
Yeah, there's no excuse not to, really, mate. There's no excuse, to be honest. So I would be very, very surprised if we don't go full strength. But mate, you call it first. Do it.
Is it Bolton away or is it Bolton at home? I forgot to check before.
Shit, I can't. No, it says we're home. So.
We're at home, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're at home against Bolton and we go full strength, I'm going to go 3-1.
Nice. That's a good scoreline. I mean, knowing us, we will concede. But, it could be very similar to the Port Vale game in the way that the momentum just went, okay, you scored, it's our turn, and then just pile it on. I'm going for a cheeky 1-0 win to Wrexham against Bolton. I don't think it'll be anything fancy. I think it'll be a bit of a grind, 60th minute goal and then holding our breath till the end. and I'm sure some dodgy decision that went our way that everyone's going to hate us for, but I fucking froth it. So, yeah, 1-0 for me, mate.
All right. Well, after the break, we are going to wrap everything up, talk some shit, and just have some fun, and then obviously end things for this week. So let's see you guys after the break. Woohoo! Well, you know what? I do want to talk a bit about Dolby.
Do it.
I'm surprised. He made a statement in the media or two. So I read that he had no idea what Wrexham were having planned for him, whether he was going to get recalled or whether he's and even they had a contract offer for him on the table. I'm assuming that's not on the table anymore, but they basically just let him go. We're not going to get anything for Dolby now, are we?
Nope.
Cool.
I
Good
mean,
conversation.
So yeah, well, that was shit talk, guys. Have a good night. But I think you're right. Like, I think it's a really odd thing. I mean, then again, Wrexham haven't been very communicative, haven't been great communicators, to be honest. When it comes to this kind of shit lately, at least the last couple windows. In saying that, I think Wrexham are gonna. I think it's smart. Wrexham went right. We're gonna bring in strikers anyways. We're gonna try this out. You're in form. Let's not ruin what you're doing, and what he's doing is fucking incredible.
Still scoring. Scored again on the weekend too.
Yeah, I mean, he was leading goal scorer a couple of weeks ago. I'm pretty sure he still is now, but he might be overtaken by one of the Celtic boys. But not the point. The point is that he's top of a league. Why take him from that if you're not going to sign him? Do you know what I mean? And let's say Wrexham did recall him and we don't sign him. That's a dick move. It's like, cool, he could have continued on his trajectory. I know that's how the game works and that's how football is.
I'm surprised we didn't push Dundee United to buy him, to secure him, because essentially now what can happen? Someone like Celtic, or a team that's in the Scottish League can go and pluck him from there, give him a really good offer that Dundee United cannot match.
Yep.
Because they're not on the same level as Celtic and Rangers.
Nah.
So essentially they're taking a big risk by leaving him on loan. Why not put him into a contract now, secure him down for at least another year or two, let him develop in that league? I mean, he might come back. He might come back to a championship team or a League One team. They might do the same thing.
He might even just come back to us, mate.
For him.
Yeah, he might. I think this is silly, but I think what they're doing is they're going, right, Sam's done right by us for the years. Let's do right by him. Let's let him then his fate is in his and his agent's hands to make the most of this. Because let's be real, I'm not saying Dundee United are going to lose him, but you're right. They don't have the money, and Celtic and Rangers are known to just be like, I want that one. And then they just fucking pull them out and they just give them the bags. Well, it's not even that much money, more money than a championship side, but still it's enough to really create something. And when you've got fan bases like Rangers and Celtic, which are rabid fucking all over the world, another worldwide known team, you give him that option. But I also think possibly they did try and offer him and he just went, I'm just going to sit it out and wait it out and see what happens. Because possibly that happened. Possibly Wrexham were like, look, we do want you, but we don't want you for much. Here's what we've got. Understandable if you don't want to take it. It's like, let's just see how I go to the end of my loan spell. And I'm sure Dundee United offered very similar because, again, they won't have as much money. But then again, if they get into Europe, they get cash injected. Not much, but like enough to probably sign him if that's what they wanted to do, especially if he got, the golden boot of that league. Fuck me, mate. Like, So, nah, great topic of discussion, dude. It's a very interesting tale. The tale of Sam Dolby. You will see a twist towards the end. I feel it because if he comes back and he wants starting. Do you know what I mean? He's not coming
Good
into.
luck, though.
But that's what I mean. That's why I don't think he will. If he does come back, he will want starting. Because think about it, he's starting. Like why would he go play football, play out of his absolute skin? His name is across an entire country at the moment, and it's going across the border. People are hearing about it. People are listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why wouldn't you want to start? And Wrexham wouldn't, and I don't think Wrexham would do that to him anyways. They're not the kind of club that would do it.
I'm 100% certain we won't see him again.
Yeah.
He's going to get signed. Some club's going to come and snatch him up at the end of the season. I don't think he'll be at Dundee United. I think he'll go to either a championship club or Rangers or Celtic will probably just pluck him.
I really think it's going to one of those, mate. You hit the nail on the head. But in saying that, Dundee United, what if they're finishing third, I think they get Europa now because Celtic get. At the way that it's going, Celtic get automatic Champions League, then Rangers play Champions League qualifiers, and then I think Dundee United get Europa qualifiers or just direct Europa.
They want to secure him bloody quick.
Yeah.
They really do because I think they go through to the conference, but they will want to secure him very, very quick.
Yeah.
Especially if that happens.
Yeah.
I just think that, leaving him on loan, why not just do it? Just secure him. But
I think because the deal, I mean, this is my brain's mush at the moment, but if they put him at offer now and they say at the end of the season you sign this, is that allowed because it's outside the window or is that taboo?
I don't know.
I'd love to know because I know and this is just me being
the Scottish are a mad lot.
But like in the footy, in the AFL, mate, like they have a thing like yes, there's talks, but there's definitely no write up of any contract. And if there's even a whiff of it, it's like that's taboo. Like that's fucked. But then if you look at the rugby league, the NRL in the more northeastern states, they announce it mid-year. Oh yeah, when my contract's up next year, I'm going to Melbourne Storm. You know what I mean? Like it's really interesting to see how different sports and different leagues do their trades. Shit, you saw the basketball news. I mean, I'm not a basketball fan, but supposedly Luka Doncic going to the Lakers was an absolute fucking farce or steal. And then, so again, it's really interesting to me to see what's allowed and what's not allowed. But I guarantee there's definitely talks being had with the agent, and they're definitely talking up in that price.
Yeah, and on other news as well, Anthony Ford has also gone.
No, mate,
That's a bit sad, but
he's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good one. Who else? Who am I thinking? Jordan Davies as well, gone out. No, James Jones.
No, I was going to say, fuck. Well, I was like, where the fuck was I? Was it with the internet out that we just lost one of our own? Because I'll cry.
James Jones.
Yeah, James Jones.
James Jones gone to Burton Albion with Dad Bod.
And Daddy is killing it.
Daddy's killing it. When that happened, I was like, are we the problem? Like, he's scoring goals for fun now. Like, is our style of play the problem here? Like, have we got to, switch something up? But I think it's pretty easy to stand out on a team like Burton Albion when when you got some fire.
It's pretty easy to stand. I mean, I'd look pretty good at Burton Albion, is what you're saying. But no, you've got a fair point. But it's just so funny because he's literally just doing it for fun, and it's fucked up. I just went really blurry on my screen. Oh, there we go.
And the Mullen and Palmer rumors, what sort of bullshit? Who made that shit up? Seriously.
I'm not even giving it the light of day, mate. I read it.
I think Rob Ryan Red mentioned it, actually, the boys, we love you guys at Rob Ryan Red, but fuck me, like,
don't add fuel to the fire.
Rumors from? Because there's a rumor that Palmer refused to train and that Mullen is going to Port Vale. And none of it's happened. So, someone's got egg on their face.
Nah,
Yes.
you know what it is, mate, and this is what happens, and you see it with the big clubs, and it happens in the Premier League. It happens. You hear all this, like Mo Salah. Remember, like I mean, with his whole thing, is he leaving mid-season? And he's like, I want to stay at Liverpool. And then someone made a rumor he's going to Al Hilal or he's going to fucking play with Cristiano. And then never came to fruition. And it's like, no shit. He literally said it's not happening, but people still go, nah. They're hiding it. They're hiding it. It's got to happen. And I think it's the same thing with this, mate. It's this whole thing of, especially the Mullen one. Fuck me. Like, look, whatever happens with footballers, shit. You and I grew up in the age of David Beckham, and that motherfucker would refuse to train, refuse to get haircuts, refuse to fucking do shit and still be a world-class player. So, yes, it's not a great look, but it's not unbeknownst to football to see someone act out. But the whole fucking Mullen leaving rumours, give the guy a break. He's been stellar every fucking season. Let's give him a shit one. Let's just say, all right, you're written off this year. You had a shit one. Just have a shit one. And then play on next year and come back in. And if it's still shit, then we reevaluate. But give him a shit one. Come on. Like deserved it.
Adrian, mate, have a shit one.
Have a shit one, mate.
Just have a shit one.
Just have a shit one. Is this the episode?
I love it. I love it. That's a good one. I love it. Well, guys, I think that brings us to the end of this week, but we do have some shout outs.
Yes.
And I do kind of start this off like, if you want your name to be shouted out every single week on our podcast,
he's saying it.
Access to a fans only Discord. If you want 10% off our merch store, twobeardsmedia.com/shop, and you want to have access to some fans only giveaways, we have a Patreon program. We call them our fuckheads. We love them to death. They help support our show. They're helping us get to Wrexham as well. These guys are our diehard fans and we love them. And links are in the description below for that.
Nailed it, Chief. Early access, mate. That's what I'm all about. I love it. They love the early access, and I love seeing the guys in the chat. And I know I've been MIA, personal reasons, and then my fucking internet. So I'm back, baby, and the memes will be real. Let's go. So I'm keen to see what we can do. But in the meantime, the executive producers, we cannot do this without you. Honestly, you are literally getting us over the line on that plane, over the threshold, over the border, and then Rousey's going to get deported, but that's fine. So we got Sarah, Anthony, Welsh Techie, Bryant, Not PC, and Mad Al. You lovely, lovely human beings, part of the Fuckhead program. Like you heard there's different tiers. Executive producers, they pay their $20 tier. So well done. Thank you. And then we've got our Fuckheads, Aaron, Will, Chris W, John, Anthony R, Deandra, Mark, Drew, Neb, Ryan, Jake, Vincent, and Benjamin. And I want to just say...
And local pundit.
A local pundit. Because he had joined like the day I got out of the internet. And then I had a rumor that like someone was like, I've never seen them both in the same room. I've never been on local pundit. So everyone's like, maybe it's just local pundit wearing a bald cap, and can confirm we are the same person. This is the big reveal. Just thought we'd like that out now. So anyways, thank you to the fuckheads. We love you all. And I'm looking forward to doing something creative next week. Put it in the Discord, guys. Think of something creative you want us to present it. We've tried to do, little song lyric kind of fun with it, or going real sexy voice. What do we want to see when we shout out your name? Let us know.
And $100 super chat. Adrian will get every single fuckhead's name tattooed on him.
Jesus Christ. How about I'll write it with Sharpie? How about that? I don't want to...
Then you got to do a strip show for us on camera.
I'll do that anyways, mate. Don't need $100 super chat to do some strip chats.
There we go. All right, guys. That's it for this week.
It is.
Beards Wrexham Podcast. Thank you.
Two Balds. We're now called Two Balds.
Yes,
welcome to the Two Balds Wrexham Podcast.
We got to change this logo, so we got two bald guys now. So
I'm changing the whole name. I'm calling us Two Balds from now on.
Two balls. Two bald. Two balls.
Two bald. Too beautiful.
Two balls. Yeah, no, I don't know. Should we rename our podcast? Comment down below.
Should we call this
Reach out
episode
to
The
us.
Bald and the Beautiful?
The Bold and the Beauty.
Like the bowl. Anyways, fucking let's just end it here. But honestly, mate, fucking so happy to be back. And let's just shout out to Rousey. He's been absolutely shouldering it. Me going through my divorce and going through my fucking move to an antique house. And I love this house, don't get me wrong, but it is old as shit with no reception. And then I had no internet for 3 weeks because of a fucking bundle with the NBN.
Bet you've got a ghost.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's usually just me in the mirror because I'm that pale, but you know,
I bet you got a ghost. Yeah. Just
his name's Rousey and he keeps whispering in my ear.
Ask it to show us his tits. Go, hey,
Yeah.
show us your tits.
Show us your tits. Yeah, right.
It's going to keep me awake at night. Show me your tits, damn it.
Yeah, work. Yeah, fair call, mate. But look, shout out to Rouse, been footing this whole thing himself in terms of shouldering it, in terms of posting on the X accounts, releasing episode, recording an episode with Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. Thank you for filling in. But yeah, really good to be back, and I'm keen for next week, Chief.
Hell yeah. Bring it on. We'll be back next week on Friday next week and Thursday for the early access members. Guys, stay tuned. We love you. Two Beards. Woo!